Yesterday, I ran down to the building and I got some of our favorite books. Look at this one. It's Pete the Cat. Will you guys do this with me? Are you ready? Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. This is a story by Eric Litwin, and the person who did the drawings is James Dean. Pete the Cat. I like Pete the Cat. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with his 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much that he sang this song. There's the number 4. Do you see it? You ready to sing the song with me? My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. 4. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. Oh, how many buttons are left? How many are there? 3! 4, take away 1 is 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoop. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. Are you ready to sing with me? My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. What happens next? Do you remember? Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? How many? 2! 2 buttons. 3, take away 1 is 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. What happens next? Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? What's Pete doing? He's having some ice cream. How many buttons are left? 1. 2 minus 1 equals 1. 1 left. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My button, my 1 groovy button. My button, my 1 groovy button. What happens next? Oh, pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Why is Pete on top of the car? Pete will just go about anywhere, won't he? How many buttons are left? 0. 1, take away 1 is 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button! Do you have a belly button under your shirt? And he kept singing his song. You're never gonna lose that button. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. Pete just keeps cool, doesn't he? I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Sometimes we do, and crying is okay. Pete chooses not to cry. Goodness, no. We just keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons. The end.